Hey, how we doing there, guys and gals? Hope you're having an awesome day today. Me, I'm not doing so great today. I just so happen to be ill, but the show must go on. Today's video is going to be about the tragic story of this motorcycle, the Kawasaki Z H2. And get ready for a classic intro. Here we go. So, yeah, the whole process of getting this ZH2 was a bit of a mission, and it's quite an upsetting story for me. And not last Monday's video, but the Monday before, where I unveiled this bike for the very first time. That video nearly didn't happen because of the issues that I had surrounding getting this motorcycle. There's no problems with the bike itself, but just the process of getting it. Now I'm going to start off with the very first day that I picked it up. So I picked it up from the dealership a couple of weeks ago now, maybe 3 weeks ago now. Can't remember exactly. And I decided to come out in rush hour again because I'm an idiot. But anyway, yeah, so the very first day I picked up this motorcycle, and this is a warning that goes out to anyone that picks up a brand new motorcycle, not necessarily a used one, but just a brand new one. So I picked it up, and about half hour into the maiden voyage of this bike, I got rear-ended by someone. Yep, someone rear-ended me in the first half hour of me picking up this bike from the dealership. And I know it just sounds like a, I don't know, like a jinx or something like that, but there was a lady in a white car. I took some pictures of it for insurance purposes in case I needed them, so I'll put them up on the screen for you now, what the situation looked like. But yeah, it was very, very scary. I've never been rear-ended before in anything, let alone a motorcycle. But luckily it was at a T-junction, so the lady that was driving the car behind me was already slowing down. But as you do, you see these people in your mirrors and you think to yourself, oh, they're not slowing down. And so you kind of brace for impact. But I'll set the scene for you. So I was pulling up to a T-junction, and basically the T-junction split into two lanes, so lane going left and lane going right. There was a big lorry in the right-hand lane that was blocking the view of the road. However, as I was approaching, I saw a cyclist that was coming towards us from the right, and it was coming across the T-junction. Now I saw this before I went past the lorry, and the lorry was stopped, by the way. It was at a standstill waiting to go. And the lady behind me also saw the cyclist, but she thought I'd gone. She thought I'd already left the junction, so she wasn't looking in my direction. She was looking at the direction of the cyclist, or at the direction of the road next to her, rather than what was in front of her, which was me. And yeah, so from that she rear-ended me, and I was very lucky where I was actually positioned on the road, because the only damage to the bike was to the rear tyre and the number plate. I did have the bike checked out after the incident, and luckily everything was okay. The bearings were okay, the wheel alignment was okay, the chain was alright, the exhaust wasn't touched, and that's the thing. I was thinking, oh my god, the rear tyre is going to be in the back end of the engine or something like that. The chain's going to be shot, the sprockets are going to be shot, the alignment's going to be off, and the bearings are going to be broke. That's what I thought. Another thing I should mention is luckily I was able to keep the bike standing up as well. I didn't have my my hand or foot on the brakes at the time because I was getting ready to pull away, and so the bike rolled forward, and it was at that point that I was able to put my foot down. I believe my left foot was already on the floor, so it was ready to kind of reposition on the floor when the bike moved forward. So luckily the bike didn't drop, but I was very close to dropping it, very, very close. And yeah, luckily she didn't hit me that hard that she pushed me out into oncoming traffic, because that would have been a real bummer. Yeah, that would have been a real problem right there. But like I said, luckily that didn't happen. I was able to apply the brakes at the right time, and yeah, she ended up just bumping me forward a little bit. But even that little incident right there gave me a backache for a few days afterwards, even though it was only a little bump, because remember, the entire force of that car goes into the bike going forward, but your torso jerks backwards and your neck jerks backwards, so that's, you know, that's where whiplash and things like that come from. But in the end I decided not to involve insurance companies because the bike was okay, and she knew a mechanic so she could get her bumper fixed, so it all ended up okay in that regard. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. That incident was just a cherry on top. I have a habit, that car behind me almost rear-ended me just now as well. Oh god. Yeah, that was just the tip of the iceberg, but luckily the bike was okay, and since that incident I've had no problems whatsoever with the bike or other drivers on the road. Thank the gods for that. However, then I ran into a problem of actually getting the motorcycle, and this issue was twofold. The first issue was that, well, I mean, the very first issue was affordability, of course. You know, before you buy a motorcycle or a car, you have to check to make sure that it's affordable for you. And so, you know, you do the usual thing, you get finance quotes and what have you, and insurance quotes, and you look up taxes and things like that, as you do. Now, the week before I went in to buy the motorcycle, I got some insurance quotes, and at this point I already knew that I could afford the motorcycle itself, so I had the deposit and everything. My family helped me out with that, as I mentioned before. So thank you to all my family and my wife and her parents as well for giving me a hand with this. But yeah, so affordability for the bike itself was okay, and I called up the insurance company, which at the time was Bennett's, which is quite a popular insurance company, and they advertise multi-bike policies. So of course at the time I had the ZZR and I had the CBR 600RR from Honda, and I had a multi-bike policy with them for the previous year. And so I thought, well, okay, yeah, I'll do a multi-bike policy with them for the ZZR and of course the ZH2. And I thought I was going to be paying insurance wise about £100 a month for both motorcycles. I thought that that's how much it was going to cost me, and to my surprise they said, oh no, it's okay, it's going to cost you £62 a month for both bikes. I was absolutely over the moon with that, and I thought, great, I'm all set to go. So I go into the dealership, I put my order in for the bike, everything's good. And then a couple of days before I'm due to pick up the brand new ZH2, I call up the insurance company to rerun the quote, and it turns out that the only difference that I made to the insurance quote, the application, was that it's a 2021 model ZH2 rather than a 2020 model. Now, bearing in mind that you can still buy 2020 model ZH2s, and it's new old stock, so it's a brand new bike, but obviously it's a 2020 model manufacture, yeah. And when I got the original quote, that's what I told them, and when I had the new quote, I told them that no, it's a 2021 model, brand new ZH2. And then just from that single detail, that it's a 2021 model year instead of the 2020 model year, the price shot up massively. I'm saying it shot up fourfold. And that's not even the best part. Apparently their underwriters couldn't insure the brand new ZH2 with the ZZR on a multi-bike policy, which I thought was absolutely insane. So in the end, what they decided to do was they decided to keep me on a they decided to do two separate policies, one for the ZZR and one for the ZH2. But they would honour my no claims bonus, which is at this point, is it 9-10 years, something like that? I can't quite remember. But yeah, so quite a lot of no claims bonus. And then this is when the prices came through. £1,500 for the year on just the ZH2, which was going to cost me about £151 a month, I think, from memory. £151 a month. I know it was 150 something. And I had a heart attack. I was thinking to myself, holy shit, I've just bought a brand new motorcycle, I'm picking it up in a couple of days, and now this stupid insurance company is telling me that it's going to cost 4 times as much to insure as what they originally quoted me, with simply being the model year being different. As you can imagine, I was absolutely heartbroken. I thought, oh my god, I can't afford that. That's it, I'm not going to be able to get the ZH2. And bearing in mind that this is just for the ZH2, I still had to pay a full-on policy with my ZZR as well, which, guess what, was only going to cost me £250 for the year, which was about £27 a month when you consider interest and stuff like that for credit. And so it wasn't 150 quid for both bikes, it was actually £182 for both motorcycles per month for the year. Now look, when you're paying insurance on motorcycles that is costing you more than what it costs you to actually buy the motorcycles themselves, you know that there's something wrong there, right? And I was absolutely heartbroken because I'd already done the video where I said I'm going to have a surprise for you next week. You know, I'd already filmed that video. I'd already said to all of you that I was going to have a new motorcycle to show you all. And yeah, at that point it seemed very, very unlikely that it was going to happen at all, and I was going to have to do an embarrassing video saying, sorry guys, I was going to get a ZH2 but I wasn't able to because the insurance company was too expensive. And I went through that entire process whilst I was at work, which obviously is not the best environment to do these things in, and I was completely stressed out for the entire day. But then I got home and I started doing some Googling, and to my surprise I realized that, well, no, actually I didn't realize, I had a thought that surely it's not just Bennett's that do multi-bike policies. Surely it's not, even though they're the ones that advertise it. And that's the thing, at the time, whilst I was actually at work, the only thing I was thinking to myself is, this is going to be the best deal I can get. So I ended up going for it. But then yeah, it was actually when I got home is when I decided to go on a hunt for a better deal. Now I did a video a few months ago about how to make your insurance cheaper, and I did a demonstration on the website comparethemarket.com. I'll have that video linked up in the description for you. However, I have another insurance tip for you. So I went hunting around and I went on Compare the Market. I did Go Compare, and I did Money Supermarket. Money Supermarket was the last one that I did because I thought, well, you know, Go Compare and Compare the Market are going to be the most popular ones, so they're going to get me the best deals. And they weren't actually that much better than what Bennett's were offering me. To be fair, some companies were offering me, it was £1,000 for the year to insure the ZH2, but then obviously I'd have to get a separate policy for the ZZR as well, and normally you can't use no claims bonus on two separate policies. So I got disheartened again because no insurance company would do these bikes at a good price. But then on the final comparison site, Money Supermarket, I got the quote I was looking for. And bearing in mind I was only searching for ZH2 quotes at this point, just to see what I could get, because Bennett's were only offering me a quote for the ZH2 and the ZZR separately, so that's why I started searching for just the ZH2. And to my surprise, the Kawasaki's own branded insurance company popped up in Money Supermarket for, I think it was £763 or £764, something like that. And I thought, wow, that is an amazing deal. So I went through the entire process to go and buy the insurance. And then just as I was about to buy it and cancel my Bennett's insurance, I thought to myself, hang on, I'm going to give this insurance company, this Kawasaki branded insurance company, a call. And I'm going to ask them whether or not they do multi-bike policies. So I did. I gave them my quote number and everything like that for the ZH2. And I asked them, do you do multi-bike policies? I have a ZZR 1400. Would you guys be able to insure that on the same policy? And then he said, the guy on the phone, very, very nice chap, I can't remember his name, I'll give him a shout out if I could, but I couldn't remember his name. He said that he'd need to contact the underwriters for it. He said, yes, they could do it, but they need to contact the underwriters to see what deal they could do on it. And then an hour later, I was expecting to pay £1,000 for both bikes, which I was like, okay, that's not bad, that's better than what Bennett's were offering me. They offered me a cheaper price for both motorcycles than the quote that I was getting through their online service for just the ZH2. And I was like, shut up and take my money. I was so happy that I was able to get that done. And I mean, okay, the interest rate that they have for their creditors was quite high. I think it was like a 30% APR, and normally they're about 10 or 15%. So I was paying a hell of a lot more interest than what I was expecting. However, the monthly price for both motorcycles is now £82 a month for both motorcycles, which is £100 less. Which is £100 less than what I was going to end up paying with Bennett's. Can you believe that? And they were able to do a multi-bike policy for me with a brand new 2021 ZH2. Absolutely incredible ordeal. And I cancelled every policy I had with Bennett's at the time. I did incur a penalty with Bennett because I already had a policy open with them for the ZZR, so they charged me £50 as like an exit fee. But I was more than happy to swallow that because I was going to be paying £100 less every month to insure my motorcycles. So big shout out to Kawasaki Insurance in the UK. You guys are amazing, and you made this happen. You made the ZH2 happen because you made it affordable for me. Yes, it was more expensive than what I was originally anticipating to pay, but man, it was nowhere near as much as what Bennett were offering me. So yeah, You guys at Kawasaki Insurance, you're doing it right. Now, I don't know if it's because I had both Kawasaki's and they gave me a discount. I have no idea. But guys, listen, and that's my biggest tip for you is do other comparison sites. Other comparison sites will give you different results. It's absolutely incredible to think that that's how it works, you know. And traditionally I've always used Compare the Market for insurances, home insurance, car insurance, bike insurance, because usually they've always given me the better deal, but not in this instance, not with a brand new motorcycle. So anyway, guys and gals, that there is the tragic story, but ultimately ended good story of the ZH2. And yeah, just literally it was just an opportunity for me to explain to you the trials and tribulations of buying a brand new motorcycle. Everything might not be as simple and rosy as it seems on the outset. And for those of you buying Chinese motorcycles, it might even be harder for you, because not all insurance companies do Chinese motorcycles. They will not insure Chinese bikes, so you have to go to some weird unknown off-brand insurance company to insure yourselves. I don't know, that might have changed nowadays with Lexmoto and Skyjet brands becoming more popular. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, stay away from Chinese bikes for the most part, as I've always said. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to have the same problems with a proper branded Japanese or European bike. Yeah, absolutely incredible a deal. Thank you ever so much for watching this video, guys, and thank you all 300 plus subscribers that have subscribed to the channel. You guys are friggin' awesome. So thank you ever so much for engaging with the content. I can't thank you enough. And now that I've done nearly 400 miles on this ZH2 already, we will be releasing our review, our full-on review of the ZH2 in the very near future. So any new viewers, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see our full-on review, which hopefully will come in the next couple of weeks, but I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks again for watching, guys and gals. I hope you're having an awesome day and you have an awesome day ahead of you. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.